1, 2, 3.
A little closer.
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
Catherine, I'm going to be taking some pictures.
I know.
Just ignore me.
I will. I saw before. How does it feel to be ignored?
That happens a lot.
Excellent. Good.
I didn't give you your photo. I do have your media release and all of that.
Yes.
It's for all of us. So.
We set?
Good to go for me.
All right, let's butter this corn.
Well, hello there. This is Susan Hamilton. You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show, where we understand the American business owner audience. 80% of American micro to small business tend to be family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. That means they're building their business. You're building your business while you're taking care of your kids. You're probably taking care of your parents. You probably have a veteran in your family or workspace, and 30% of you have an addict in your family or workspace. Business is not the same, friends, and it's time we rebuild American business influence so that we can get things done smarter, make more money, and not be ignored legislatively or any other way. It's time to really take advantage of what it means to rebuild American business influence locally, nationally, and abroad. And I'm so thrilled to share with you Catherine Monson, who has a real good handle of what's been going on locally, nationally, abroad because of the range you have with FASTSIGNS. As the CEO of FASTSIGNS for the last 8 years, you have been highly awarded all over the place, an international traveler and speaker that I've personally been able to hear, and I'm just honored that you'd be on the Offbeat Business Show and share your wisdom with our audience. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, Susan, thank you for the invitation, for inviting me. It's really my honor to be here. I am passionate about small business. I'm passionate about franchising, and I'm passionate about the American dream and making our country the best it can be. And really, the real driver of all economic growth in the past 30 years has been small businesses. It hasn't been the large companies. It hasn't been the Fortune 1000. It is small businesses that are creating economic output, employing new people, giving them training and growth and growing. And I love small business. I've been involved in franchising. The joke in my office is more than 20 years, because if I say how many years it is, you can figure out how old I am, but it's a lot more than 20 years. And the reason I love franchising is I help people get in business for themselves but not by themselves, and to achieve that dream of business ownership and to do it successfully and build wealth for their families and pay for college and pay for retirement and second homes and all kinds of great things with a strong brand. And so that's what I've been doing for a long, long time, and I love it.
Yeah, there's a reason America is where everybody wants to be.
Exactly right.
We are a wonderful, wonderful nation, and our businesses comprise so much of that. Because if we're not owning those businesses, we're employing everyone else.
Exactly right.
And those things are getting done. You've had some interesting experiences as the Spotlight for Undercover Boss. You made me laugh so hard with your candid assessment of what it really looked like behind the scenes when you were at Success North Dallas when I met you. What a funny circumstance to learn, at this level of the game you're playing, to be in that scenario where you're learning from behind the scenes what it looks like.
I have to tell you, Undercover Boss was an amazing blessing. It's been so much fun, and just this last weekend, that episode aired 3 times in the United States, and so every time it airs, I get emails from folks that say the story inspired them, and the great thing is our FASTSIGNS franchisees get new customers when they understand what a FASTSIGNS can do for a small to mid-sized business.
Absolutely.
But it was a wonderful blessing to be contacted by the production company that does Undercover Boss, and then for CBS to say, yeah, I think we'd like to feature her. And so it's been a fun ride. And the Undercover Boss opportunity has brought so many other great things, other radio interviews. Probably you and I wouldn't be together today if I didn't have that Undercover Boss experience, because I probably wouldn't have been invited to Success North Dallas. So it has wonderful legs and wonderful blessings, and it's a load of fun. And yes, deep down, I really do want to be a goth rocker chick. That's why I picked that disguise. I know people my age, women my age, probably are too old to be goth rocker chicks, but that's like, my alter ego.
I say, you've got to enjoy this life we're on. It's about enjoying our life in business, right?
It absolutely is.
Catherine, from your perspective, what are some of the things that you see, we're airing this show in January, where we can really get a strong handle on our branding, a strong handle on what we do going forward, and chances are we're coming into this with a plan of sorts, but it's going to get revamped throughout the year as you go. It's going to become a little more elastic. Do you have any pearls of wisdom that you might share with this segment of American Business?
Well, I think it's important for every small business to have a brand and a brand personality, and to know what they want to communicate to customers and prospects. And I think the key to branding really comes down to knowing your audience, knowing who your prospective customers are, knowing your existing customers, and what it is that you do for them that they need. And then once you really understand that customer, if you're a brand new business just starting out, really understanding that demographic. I mean, there's a big difference between the needs of the soccer mom who's married and has 4 kids and a job versus the single mom versus the career woman that has no children. So you have to kind of understand and decide who your target market is, and really get to know them and understand them and what their needs are, and then make sure that your business, your company, fulfills those needs very, very well. Most great brands have a very simple brand idea or a simple tagline. Nike says, "Just do it." And that's a very elegant tagline. For FASTSIGNS, it's being more than fast and more than signs, and really helping small and mid-sized businesses really construct their branding and then implement their branding across a wide range of aspects, whether it's the decor of the outside of the windows, the exterior sign, any vehicles that you have, your lobby, your conference room. A big part of branding is your company culture. We can say that we're more than fast and more than signs, but if the thousands of employees that work for the over 640 FASTSIGNS locations don't live that every day, then the brand doesn't really exist, and we just disappoint customers. So I think all about branding is getting to know your customer, and then defining that brand, and then coming up with your logo and your tagline and your decor, your brand personality, your color scheme, etc., and then being consistent in its implementation. Now, a lot of small businesses are so busy, they don't have time to think about branding. And that's another thing that's great about FASTSIGNS and our 640 locations, is each and every one of those have folks, marketing savvy employees, marketing savvy owners, franchisees, that have been trained in branding and marketing, and it can help the small business come up with an enhanced brand, a decor package, building the culture within their company. This January, we're running a marketing campaign about how to communicate to your employees, so your employees understand your company's brand and essence. And so all of our local marketing materials in January will be reflecting that, and your local FASTSIGNS can come in and consult with you and understand what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to get your employees to understand, so that they're living it with the customer interaction they have every single day. And then we can actually put together visual graphics that will help motivate and remind your team about that. It can be custom wallpaper, it could be an inspiration hall full of quotes, it could be the lunchroom and having the lunchroom reflect a relaxation or a brand image that you want them then to take after they have their break or after lunch. So FASTSIGNS can do it all, including helping you communicate to your own employees.
Oh, that couldn't be more important, Catherine. Well, as you're saying that, it's just ringing so true, because one of the things that I see and have seen consistently since 2007, when I started working in this space, that you can do everything great online and do everything according to what experts tell you should have done. And you can still lose that sale when the receptionist has no idea what's going on the website. They don't, and the technicians don't understand what we're promoting today. The sales managers aren't really sure what our goals are this week, other than, everything does have to revolve around the buy-in of the entire team on that brand and on the brand personality. I love that phrase. That's absolutely true. I love that.
Well, I think there is a lot of business that's done on the internet, and there's no question. In fact, looking at the statistics we've seen so far from this holiday shopping system, again, online is growing dramatically, and bricks and mortar sales are not growing that dramatically. Of course, it's not quite yet Christmas time here. I know this is airing in January, so things could change because there are a lot of people who leave it to the last minute. You can't go online at the last minute. You need to actually go to the store.
Yeah.
If you're a man and you're buying your presents on December 24th.
We're looking at our studio audience.
That's right, looking at the men in the studio audience. Sorry about that, guys.
But it's true, yeah.
All my Christmas presents were purchased in October, but that's just me because I'm one of those compulsive planners. But, getting your team, communicating what you're doing in the entire organization is, as silly as it sounds, I have a company meeting every single month where I talk about everything that's going on in the business, and all of the different department heads do as well. Why? Because I even want my person in accounting to understand what the marketing team is doing. Why? Because they might run into somebody when they're out getting their tires changed, right? And so I want that brand understanding to really go through every part of the organization.
Oh, I
and
hope
with
this
our,
is sinking in, folks.
And with our franchisees spread throughout the world, really, we've got 640 locations in 9 countries. We do what we call Connect with Catherine conference calls every single month. And again, we're sharing with everybody in every FASTSIGNS location what are all the things we're working on, from sales and marketing and training and every part of the business. And then those Connect with Catherine conference calls are archived and available on podcasts, so that if you couldn't make that one particular time that we do it, you can listen to it anytime. That constant communication, I think that while this is kind of straying off of branding, I think the most important thing the leader of any organization can do is constantly and consistently communicate to everybody on their team. Even if you don't think the accounting person needs to know, they do need to know, because it's all about having this united team that's working together to fulfill the company's goals. I heard someone say, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And that's a basic, outline of how to give a speech to any audience. But when you're speaking with your team, and you ought to be having, daily meetings with your sales staff, and weekly meetings with the entire staff, and monthly meetings with the entire company, talking about the results and where you are in your business plan and how you are year to date and actually fulfilling what you wanted to do when you created your business plan at the beginning of the year. All of that works together, as does having consistent branding amongst all your locations, having your people live that brand, having your locations visually communicate that brand. It all works together.
It really does. That company culture is what you're describing, it helping them understand they're all going to leave your company. My dad used to tell me that when you leave this house, young lady, you're an ambassador of this family. And that's what, and in fact, that's what you are, and that's what all of your entire team is when they leave your company. So what you're describing is really equipping them so that they can, because everyone wants to be proud of where they work. Everyone wants to be proud of what they do for a living. And if you equip them with that, they can do that courageously, and you want that. That's really wonderful to pull it all together. Friends, I hope you're enjoying this interview with Catherine Monson, CEO of FASTSIGNS, as much as I am, because I am over the top excited about the type of content we're sharing with you today. But we're going to take a break and listen to a few of our sponsors. When we get back, we're going to continue this conversation. So you're listening to the OffBeat Business Show. We'll be right back.
Clear. I've used FASTSIGNS on many occasions.
Fantastic. Here locally?
Yes.
And have we taken good care of you?
Oh, yes.
Outstanding.
That's for you, because I know you probably need some water.
Thank you. You can tell I'm dry. I know.
Do you need some candy?
This will do it.
Okay.
All righty then.
Everybody sounds good so far?
I agree with
All right, fantastic. I don't know why I started bleeding, and I don't know what I cut myself on, but thank you for, I just looked down and my finger was bleeding, and thank you so much for giving me this, because I didn't want to get it all over my suit.
I have cordage in case you need a tourniquet.
It stopped
We cover
now.
all of this
It
stuff.
stopped now. This is fantastic. I like this is a full service radio show.
Darn too.
Right on down to tourniquets. I love it.
Well, if you give me 20 minutes, I can get you a calzone from down the street.
All right.
Perfect. I'll give you 20 minutes, Rob. No problem.
Ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely.
If you need it, I'll get it to you, but I'm just trying to get it out of the shot.
All right, here we go.
Uh-huh.
Part 2.
And we're back. You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show. This is Susan Hamilton, and I'm talking with Catherine Monson, CEO of FASTSIGNS, who has a wonderful handle on what's going on with local business and what's going on in the international space, because you have been speaking all over the place. Just getting back from Australia, you tell me, and then you've been recently, just this summer, June or July, that you were just awarded with Idea Alliance. That's a long awards name. That's a long awards name, but you are just, tell us a little bit about being awarded with that.
Well, it has been an exciting year for FASTSIGNS. There's no question. I think the award I'm singly most proud of is the Ash Carter, the Secretary of Defense, recognized FASTSIGNS with the Freedom Award in August, and that is given to 15 different organizations each year. So 5 small businesses, 5 large businesses, and then 5 government agencies like fire departments and police departments and things like that, for taking good care of reservists and National Guards who have been activated. So we have one of our business consultants, one of our field reps, that services franchisees in the Midwest. He lives in Indianapolis, and he has been a reservist for many, many years. And he was activated to Afghanistan, Iraq, and places where we don't have boots on the ground. I think we actually do. And he spent 9 months in a very terrifying situation. And all we did was love on him. We paid his salary even though he wasn't here. We sent him care packages and cards and texts of love. And then we took great care of his family, his wife, and 3 children, and took great care of them with a lot of love. We didn't do it because we thought there was an award. We did it because we think it's the right thing businesses should do. But then to be nominated by Stephen for this award and then to receive it was a really, really big deal. So that's exciting. And I got inducted to the Soderstrom Society, and then Soderstrom Society. It means I'm supposed to be old and experienced in the print industry. And then Women That Soar recognized me with the Leadership Award in November, and that was a very, very exciting thing. So it's been just. And then the Women in Print gave me, or the Big Picture magazine gave me the Women in Print Award. So I think if you're around long enough, they just finally give you awards to get rid of you. I think that might be what it is. And it's been an exciting year because I've did some keynote speaking in Australia and Brazil and in the UK. So it's been a busy and exciting couple months.
Yeah, you get to see so much. You get to see so much, and I think that's so important for that well-rounded view of what it is we're really trying to accomplish here on this earth. We're trying to get a handful of things done, right?
Exactly right. But the most fascinating thing is, while there are differences culturally between Brazil and Australia, the UK and the United States, to be successful in small business is really the same no matter where you are, right? It starts with, I think, having a positive mental attitude, because I don't know any good leaders that don't. It then continues on with goal-directed behavior, having a business plan, knowing what you want to do with your business, making sure that everybody in your business, even if it's only 6 or 7 people, know what your goals and objectives are and understands what they're supposed to do each and every day to achieve those goals and objectives. And then having that self-motivation, that sense of urgency to do a little bit more every single day than any of your competitors do. And so that hustle, if you will, the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. That hustle is so important no matter what business you're in.
And I love these little tweetable things, and I will tweet them.
And then, taking care of the customer, making sure that you are doing an outstanding job, whether it's great service, great product, a combination of those things, and letting those customers know how much you appreciate them. That makes a difference, because in every industry there are lots of competitors out there, right? But it's those businesses that take the best care of customers and do it consistently that are always going to be the most successful, no matter what country you're in.
So always looking for those ways where you can do that a little bit better, I think is what you're saying here.
Absolutely.
Just always tweak that. Are we treating them the best that we can? What does the customer experience look like from the time that they start hearing about you to the time that they work with you, and all the way through? That's a challenge, but it depends on what you want, right? Because you can have what you want. It's just like you said, there's some sweat equity going on here.
Absolutely.
If you're going to make a difference, it's going to take a little elbow grease. You can't play the neighbor's game if you're going to win this one. You're going to have to create your own rules.
So one of the things that I've done for all my life is collect quotes about all sorts of things. And we have this big long hall at our corporate office that's called Inspiration Hall, and it's full of, over 120 quotes from successful people. And one of them is, I love is, you can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. And you can't have a $1 million business if your dream is to have a profit of $1 million, whatever it is. You can't achieve that high goal if you're not willing to work that hard for it. And that's part of what I try whenever I have the opportunity to speak to young people. And high school and college age kids are my favorite age of folks to speak to.
Wonderful.
And anytime I can, I do. I want to instill in them how important the hard work, the perseverance, the goal-directed behavior is. I got asked recently, what made me successful early in my career, and I said, I made sure that I delivered more value every day than I cost. If we can give a great lesson to young people, it's go out there and work so hard for your employer that you deliver a lot more value than you get paid for, because what's going to happen? You're going to get a raise, you're going to get promoted, you're going to get new opportunities.
Oh, that's good advice. And we need to inspire this group. We've got a circumstance here, I think, that, Catherine, that's so dangerous. And you may see that with some of the things that you understand about local. But when we're looking at this group of people, clearly understanding who they are is so important. And that face tends to be a matriarch and patriarch of the family, employing other family members. And you get this business where, they're not having, the sales training isn't sales training as usual, is it? It's they're learning from, Uncle Joe or, Aunt Sue. I've had my spot there too. We know what that looks like. And it's not easy to make sure that we're inspiring them. And so many times that the millennials come in with this great new perspective, but they really don't necessarily have the perseverance or the endurance level that the matriarch and patriarch have, which is a feather in your cap. But if we don't know how to communicate then with that millennial generation, oh geez. And we have to kind of go back to that storytelling, which you're excellent at, and I'm sure you've heard that before. I love the way you can shape that story, because I'm so certain that when you're speaking to these people, you are making a huge difference. Storytelling is lacking in the way that we communicate generationally, and it used to just be the way things were done.
We used to do it around the campfire, if we're honest, right? Now it's hard to do when you're looking at that little small glowing screen.
Jiminy crickets. Don't get me started.
I won't.
No, but it's true. I mean, and that's why I believe it's so important to do things as simple as this. We're just recording this on an iPad. Anybody can do this. This is not any high tech at all. And because we want you to see how easy it is to be in this space. Because, quite frankly, if you're not, you are going to be invisible. You have to be here. This is a time of urgency. This is a time where your business has to show up like it's never done before. American business is struggling for all of these reasons. We are highly overregulated, and there are so many hoops that we're jumping through because now the things that were not previously considered a business discussion, like taxation and health care and criminal justice and Veterans Administration, those things matter to us. Those are conversations that we're having right now, and they can really slow us down, or we can learn how to become more influential and use those things to our advantage and influence those spaces. So we just don't mess around with that, because if you don't make choices for yourself, someone else is happy to make them for you.
That's exactly right. It's part of it, with going back to that discussion we had earlier about company culture. If you, as the leader of the organization, don't put great thought into what you want the culture to be and then create that culture, somebody else will create it for you. And chances are it will be a disgruntled employee or an underachieving employee. I mean, the key of creating great company culture, even for a small business of 10 people, is for the leader to decide what that's going to be and to describe it, to write down those positive attributes about the culture and then inculcate the group with that and talk about it all the time. And certainly Fast Signs can help with the visual graphics in a business, in a lunchroom, in the areas the customers see, to communicate that culture. But if you got to start somewhere, and that's that leader deciding, what do we stand for as a business? What do we believe in as a company about how we take care of customers? What are our values as an organization? And then making sure that those are repeated again and again.
Saying that you're the best isn't quite enough.
No, you also have to be the best, right?
And what does it mean?
Say, that's right, and you have to carry that out every day. You have to exhibit excellence in every single part of your operation every single day in order to be the best, right?
Well, and just I think you so clearly made us think about what does it mean to be the best. There's these steps involved. There's these thought processes involved. It means something. It means more. It's more than just a word. It's all those little nuances of the behavior. How do they feel? I think that's so important. Thank you for that. Thank you. I am very excited about the insight that you're sharing with our business owners.
Well, thank you. If I was the one most important thing I think I would share with any small business owner is have a business plan. I know that sounds foreign because they think I don't need one. It's just me and 2 or 3 or 4 employees. But goal-directed behavior is the single biggest differentiator between people who achieve a lot and people who achieve a little. And if you want your business to achieve your goals, you got to have a business plan. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 1 sheet of paper, 2 or 3 goals or objectives for the year, and a handful of action plans on how you're going to implement them, and then you look at it every day, and at the end of every week you ask, did I make any progress on these? And at the end of every month you have your financial statements pulled together, and you compare your financial results to what you wanted to have achieved in your business plan and your budget. And if you could have that simple discipline, that's like working on your business, not just in your business.
Yes.
And you don't have to work on your business 40 hours a week because you're going to be working in your business. It's a small business. But if you can work on your business 3 hours a week, you'll make amazing improvements in what you achieve as a company.
When you're co-branding. FASTSIGNS actually co-brands and comes alongside print companies, don't you?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So FASTSIGNS has really 3 models, if you will, of the way that we expand our brand. And one's a brand new greenfield startup franchise, and we have 300 open and approved markets in the United States, and we can do that, and we've been doing that for 35 years. Then we have conversions, where someone who's in the sign business decides they want to convert to a FASTSIGNS because they see all the benefit. And then if you're in a related graphic industry, which could be a printing company, it could be a camera photo processing business, it could be an apparel company that's embroidering apparel, we allow you to co-brand with FASTSIGNS, where you could have 1 building, 2 signs, walk in the front door, and there'll be a FASTSIGNS showroom on one side, and your lobby or your showroom for the other business on the other side, and get the benefit of the FASTSIGNS name recognition and awareness for building the sign business, and continue with your existing business as well.
Oh, that's fabulous. There's no reason you can't do this, American business. There's no reason 2017 can't totally kick some fanny. Get out there and make a difference. You can do this. And we're very, very excited about that. Catherine, FASTSIGNS.com?
FASTSIGNS.com. We have over 640 locations in 9 countries, but we can absolutely have a local FASTSIGNS near you, help you with any of your branding or visual communications. We handle everything from trade show exhibits, exterior signage, interior signage, window graphics, wall graphics, vehicle graphics. We can wrap a guitar, we can wrap anything. So whatever you need from a visual communication standpoint, we're there to help you. And if you don't know what you need, that's really where we come in, because our consultative marketing savvy approach, we can help you create the materials that you need.
The bottom line is get started, step
Get started.
out. Get started. You can do this. Friends, if you enjoyed this, know that you can find our lineup, our podcast, our magazine. You meet all of our sponsors. Check out our membership directory and get yourself signed up in there. All of this information, including all of our event calendars, you can find at offbeatbusiness.com. You'll find the information about Catherine and about the things that she's listed here underneath this video and on her podcast page. Share it with your friends. Get it out there, because we can make a difference with this kind of information. Until next time, this is Susan Hamilton, and you've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show.